Welcome back to SSX. I'm Insetic, and with me again is Blackout the M&M.
Hey.
Turo.
Hey.
And Zindictive.
Yo.
So for this second track, we're picking the second rider, Mr. Moby Jones. We'll be heading to Elysium Alps, seeing the massive drops there, and we'll also be kind of seeing the difference in board styles. If you didn't know, Mac was a freestyle rider. He had a shorter board and better tricking, whereas these border cross BX riders like Moby are more balanced overall. Their tricks, the grabs will look a little different, and then of course their stats will be tuned a little different.
And I should also clarify that Moby, while not in this game, and Tricky became Sir Moby. He was knighted for extreme contributions to British culture.
Nice.
I see.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I've been told that this is the longest track in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, it's
biggest one.
Long
I
and
can see
winding
it.
one. But
I love how vertical it looks on the flyover. Like, you realize that you really are just going straight down. Look at that.
There are some crazy, massive shortcuts as well. And if you know what you're doing in show-off, you can rack up some big points also.
You know, Instead, you should get one of those GIFs of the fans for your profile picture on Discord.
Yeah, back in the day, just like 3 frames, make them 2D.
Yeah. But this is Elysium Alps. This is my favorite course, and I think all of the SSX series.
I love I like these weird generic, like, putty patrollers that you snowboard against.
Okay.
Yeah, they lined up like a bunch of the same outfit dudes, like right next to me.
Yeah, now I recognize this track. Like, this is the one I played the most because of the demo for this game. Like, this was the track they chose for the demo. They were very happy with this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's funny how the beginning of this looks exactly like Tricky.
Yeah.
They didn't change a single thing on it.
Yeah, it's really once you get in here where it, and again, it's, Tricky refines it more, so here it's going to be kind of a little rough. But.
Yeah.
I'm noticing a bit of roughness.
I mean, well, in terms of, like, if you try to jump that corner, you'll fall into the rocks and hit an invisible barrier, like, every time.
Yeah.
Once again, first heat, I'm going to stick to the main track. I don't know. This is just how I felt like doing it. First heat, I'm going to stick to the main track. Second, I'm going to implement some shortcuts. Third, I'm going to show you the coolest racing lines.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of painful watching you, like, not take these shortcuts.
I was going to say, did it, like, fuck with your muscle memory at all?
Jesus Christ.
Not go through that massive SSX glass sign that takes up, like, 60% of your screen?
Yeah.
Imagine
go into
that weird
actually
JPEG
taking
thing right
all
there.
the bends.
Yeah.
This post was made by Shortcut Gang.
Also, I guess we should say those glass SSX signs that you'll see on the sides of the courses sometimes, or occasionally directly in front of you. Those are shortcuts. Big ass shortcuts for you to take in this racing game.
Yeah, they're
really cool.
Always worth it in this first game. Like they're always big shortcuts here.
Yeah. And not all shortcuts are marked with those glass signs, but the most obvious ones tend to be.
Also, some of them are not really shortcuts, they're actually long cuts and they suck.
Yeah. But in this first game, most of them are pretty good.
Yeah. There's some in Tricky, though, where it's like, why would you ever take them?
The scenic route.
Again, less about 3. I need to go and try and play 3 again, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of moving to a place in my life where I don't know, I'm less interested in video games.
I mean, it's, yeah.
It happens.
Shit.
No.
Yeah, okay, the main path of Elysium Alps is in this frozen creek is, like, really long.
Although that dude just completely shitposts his way down the wall.
Yeah. You know what? One thing I didn't bring up, last video, and it actually is kind of interesting going back to see that he is here in the first game, just less of a role, is DJ Rozelle, kind of your announcer during the race, who's always got something cool to say at the perfect time. You do some sick trick and he says something cool or you wipe out and it's like, the taste of snow.
So
yeah,
quotable.
In Tricky,
So
they give him
quotable.
more lines and such, but he is here in the first game.
Yeah, Razel, I've said this, I forget what game I said it on, but on one of these commentaries I said Razel should just be added to every game, and I think he would work great in Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah, Razel should narrate my life.
Yeah.
Like, just take
Kane
out
and
the
Lynch.
cool Darkest Dungeon guy, replace him with the cooler Razel.
Yeah. Plus, I'm really like fond of the announcer in this game, the DJ, because it's just like every time he calls out the tricks you pull off, it always sounds cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Front side 720
With a flying
stalefish.
squirrel.
Flying squirrel.
Roadkill. 900.
1440.
Yeah, you know, you should have contacted
State
Razel and got him
masking.
to be on one of these commentaries.
I'm sure he's on Fiverr.
And of course, call your mama in the room and show her how
show
great
her.
you are.
Bronze those thumbs.
Yeah, we know like all of the quotes.
That's a showstopper, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll cut that out of the replay.
All right. If you've
The
only seen
infamous
Elysium
glass.
Alps and Tricky, this section is a lot worse than the first game.
Oh, yes, it is.
God.
So yeah, I don't know.
Is this part of your no shortcut route?
Yeah, no, I gotta take the direct track.
Yeah, this post made by Charlie Chaplin Gags gang.
Yeah.
You know, just
This
smash through
post
the
made by-
panes of glass.
By every 7-year-old who somehow made it past the first level
Oh,
game.
stop!
I don't
He's
know.
already
Moby's
dead.
got a helmet. He's,
Yeah.
protected.
I mean, he is only wearing like a skin-tight racing suit that probably would be cut by glass very easily.
It's only
You know,
a flesh wound.
I said this in some playthrough forever ago, but if I had one superpower, it would be to be like an SSX character who can fall or crash infinite distance and bang off the entirety of Mount Everest on the way down and just get back up immediately and keep going.
Just a minor bruise from
along with
falling
the-
down
Also,
1,000 feet.
why does this look way cooler in the first game than it does in Tricky?
Because it does like a full loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of the
Yeah.
weird chicane at the... Not chicane.
I mean, the
spiral.
camera gets kind of weird here, but
Well, it actually shows you what's going on.
Yeah.
all right, we hit the finish line at like over 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, longest track in the game. No other track, like, even this game and Tricky, will take you more than, like, 5.5 minutes to go through.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Like, the vast majority take under 4, and I think Alaska and Tricky is the only other one that, on average, will take you more than 5.
yeah. Well, that's because you hit everything on the way down on Alaska.
Yeah, that's also
Zoe,
true.
you're Goth GF.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a record?
No wonder the freaking demo just like cuts you off in the middle of the track after like about 2 or 3 minutes. Jesus.
Well, that's also something they kept in all the demos for the rest of the games. Like, even SSX 3 does that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that kind of thing where you should try to like speed run the demo and get down the track before it ends. If it
Yeah,
cuts
gotta
you
take
off
the
at
best
certain
route.
time.
Also, videos floating around the internet of someone taking, like, the 2000 and, like, early 2003 demo of SSX 3 and modding it so that your timer never runs out and, like, going as far as you can. Just
Yeah, I
seeing
mean-
what's there in the demo.
Again, to plug the SSX Discord, there's some guys there who have, gotten these, unofficial kind of things of the games and have like pulled all of the sound effects and music and
Yeah.
audio.
God
And,
damn.
I think I saw a
What a
project
bunch
in
of
there.
nerds.
I think I saw a
I'm
project.
kidding.
By the way,
I'm kidding.
14,700 points right now. I think I saw a project in there where this game specifically, because they have to make like specific things for each game that they do this with, but someone put in a specifically designed PCSX2 emulator that can play this game online.
what? This game?
Yeah,
Seriously?
SSX. I
This
think
game
so.
never had online functionality.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, in RetroArch, you can play any game online. What it does is it just essentially puts the second controller inputs, like what would be local inputs, over the connection.
Yeah, kind of like
yeah,
Parsec.
that.
So you can play
but-
any game that's multiplayer
Yeah,
online.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
I'd have to
Old-
look back
you're
in
an
there.
old man in Sedec, you don't know what's going on these days. You can do anything
I
now.
really don't.
I mean, that
You
may
can do
be a me
anything.
thing. I don't know. I may have misremembered that.
Well, I mean, again, if you could get it running in RetroArch, you could do it online. You would just need to have a really good connection, and you would have to have like your own server set up or Hamachi or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
But
can
yeah,
do
it was like a specifically designed
Damn, that
PCSX2
would be
client.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
No. Well, remember I told you about GoldenEye. I said you can play GoldenEye with keyboard or mouse, HD, 16:9 over the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mentioned
amazing.
that this is my favorite track, to kind of change tracks. I mentioned that this is my favorite track in the game. This is my favorite shortcut in the game. This whole little upper
Yes,
section
right.
of Elysium Alps. It is so good. Oh.
we're gonna get to see a
And-
part of it here, but again, I'm saving the full shortcuts for part 3. Yeah, no, definitely. Like, do not take this fucking creek. Do that
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
this break.
it's easier to get into in this game than it is in Tricky, I think, but it's pretty easy to get into it in both games.
Yeah, actually, in Tricky, there's like some trees along the way of this path that let you get into it if you fail it initially. Whereas
Yeah,
here,
there is.
it's like if you don't do it at the start, you have to then ride this through.
You're fucked. But I guess for those who are completely unfamiliar with SSX, I guess welcome to the channel, welcome to Extreme Sports Games. But yeah, SSX Tricky, the sequel to this game, kept a lot of the same tracks and refined a lot of the gameplay. They added two new tracks, and but yeah, they kept the same tracks and locales, but changed a lot of the tracks up. So like for this track, they made that shortcut a little different to get onto, and also added other ways onto it.
Yeah, it's like they kept the same beats, literally like it was, next year, same event, redesign it to be cooler.
Yeah, I think in the DVD content for Tricky, they said like
Oh god,
they
what a
wanted
shortcut.
to change it up. Oh yeah, this is seeing the forest for
Hitting
the trees
everything
right
on the
here.
way down.
Becoming the
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
trees.
but they mentioned that.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing, Aesthetic. How do you know you don't have that power already? Have you ever thrown yourself off of a mountain?
My skin hurts if I even lightly graze a wall.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's because you're doing. There's no guarantee that you won't feel pain, just that you'll survive.
Oh god, no, I don't want to feel pain. I want to. No, that'd be part
Well,
of it.
keep in mind the SSX characters always talk about how much pain they're in, so they're
Yeah,
still feeling that pain.
That was something I was gonna say. Even in
Yeah.
SSX and in sports games in general, like they always get like in the world building sections of their bio and stuff, especially in Tricky, they talk about like their worst injuries and like they like
Yeah. So if you became an SSX character, you would fall down the mountain, feel all that pain, and just not get injured.
So do they feel pain or not?
Okay, then I guess, yeah, the resilience, the amount of resilience you need to do that would still be
break
something
your
I'd
leg.
want to have. Like,
Yeah.
I get lightly hurt or like lightly stopped by something, and I'm like, I'm done, I'm out of it, bye.
Yeah.
But like, Moby will fall down a mountain and then get right back up to, boost and hit a sick trick on the next jump.
I didn't know backs could bend that way. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Razal lines.
Yeah.
Is that only in this game, or is that in... No, that's also in Tricky. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never crashed in either of the games, so.
Yeah. So, yeah, especially on Elysium Alps, you will pull away from your opponents. That was a solo ride for like 60% of it.
Yeah, that's kind of the hope in these later heats always, because like, I don't know, as you can see, the emulation has a little bit of slowdown, or like especially when all the riders are there, it can get a little. And also, pushing riders over doesn't work as well in this first one.
Yeah.
Dude, I love those generic riders so much. They trip me out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they like fill out the roster of these races with a bunch of generic riders with generic names that you can't actually play as. Or get those outfits. It really is just generic. But yeah, you'll see like 3 of those line up, back to back next to each other, and it's pretty obvious. But,
Sats
So
do it.
strange.
yeah, kind of a weird thing.
I was gonna say that from what I've been seeing so far, like SSX, like bringing out the foundation framework and sort of style of SSX throughout the series, whereas Tricky pretty much is where most of the character comes in of the series.
I mean, this game does have its own style and stuff. That was something pre-Tricky people commended this game for. I mean,
Yeah, this game and these characters and everything all have good personality. It's just that in Tricky they have more personality.
Yeah, there's just more going on.
Yeah, a lot more
Yeah.
fleshed out.
Yeah, there's
I mean-
just more riders, more
Like,
interaction.
this is a new
between
hope, but then you have The Empire Strikes Back, and it's like, oh well, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
this
like,
this
is
looks
Mad
pretty
Max,
great.
and then you have the rest.
Again,
of Mad
A New
Max
Hope is a good
Yeah.
movie, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not saying this is a bad game.
these graphic, like particularly the graphics in general, really kind of held up because that's sort of kind of like, you know, a thing that people would do, and like
Oh,
when
wow.
they first had 3D
Yeah.
graphics, people were like, oh my god, this is how realistic this is. Let's try and make
There's a
these
nice ground
realistic looking
spiral there.
games with
That's
the
an
technology that
advancement.
we now have.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, you know, 6 years later, the PS2 comes out, and it's like, wow, we thought this would look realistic. But, I mean, this game isn't trying to be realistic. This game has its own style, has its own grace,
Yeah.
has its own funny
Whereas
faces.
nowadays, everything looks like the same Unreal 4 demo.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean, you know, this holds up a lot better than, like, the FIFA 2001s of the world, which, you know,
Yeah.
tried to look like simulations.
Yeah.
When it came
those are
out,
made to be
this was
disposable.
like revolutionary in how it
Yeah.
looked, how it felt, how everything.
In defense of like games like FIFA and Madden and stuff like that, they're made to be disposable though. You're back, especially back then before there were online updates for rosters. You would just play it and then you'd buy the next one the next year. So that's a little bit different, but I understand what you mean.
Yeah. All right. So, how do you think about that, Zin? That was the full shortcut.
That was much better than dealing with that fucking river.
Yeah. And I'm actually gonna screw this up, but you can
Bonk.
do that better.
I can see what you were trying to do. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Note again, if you haven't played this one, that hitting the select button to reset your guy really doesn't take away like any boost. In the later games, if you don't have, you know, unlimited boosts when you have to reset, it'll take away like a ton of your meter. But here, it's pretty free to go like, I crashed, it would be faster to just hit select than get back up. Let me do that.
Perfect.
All right, and definitely this half pipe. Check this. Ride smarter, not harder.
Yeah!
Speedrun strat, yeah. Don't even deal
Hell
with going back
yeah.
and forth. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Speedrun, this is the intended path.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. This,
Gotta
on the
ride
topic of,
razor's
like,
edge.
crashing, that's one thing that this game and Tricky, like a problem that they kind of had until SSX 3. Like, all the games in the series, maybe apart from Blur, I don't know, I haven't played that game in like 10 years, kind of like, you know, have, like, they all feel smooth and great and wonderful to control until you fall. And then you just kind of bounce around, a mess of limbs gone awry until you finally get back on your board.
That
Oh
just
yeah, that's how it
happened.
should be. That's what you get for crashing, idiot.
Yep.
I suppose.
Yeah.
You broke
Yeah,
your
check
groove.
that out.
Yeah.
Misty Mute.
So
Damn,
that
so we
cut
cut
off.
it, yeah. From like
Yeah.
5:45 down to almost 4 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah. Huge level, huge shortcuts, and we're coming back one more time for show off.
Dude, I
Hell
like that
yeah.
voice a lot. I like that robot voice.
Yeah, this game's
Yeah, that was
aesthetic
kinda
is
cool.
kind of like a little creepy. Like, I bet if I was playing this game when I was 7 in like a dark room at midnight, I'd be a little creeped out.
Are you one of those kids who got scared by that, you know, you shouldn't put this, you know, you put the wrong disc in your PS2 screen?
Oh god, holy fuck! When I first did that, oh my god, my blood went cold. I still
I don't
remember
even-
that.
I don't
first
know
time I
why
ever
people
did
think
that.
it's so scary. Maybe I'll ask you to explain it to me after the recording, because I don't get it.
Yeah, I can kind of see about the scary bit, but to me, it's more like it's trying to be very futuristic. Like, this is the future of snowboarding.
Oh.
Yeah, it's got like, I mean, early 2000s, but none of it really feels like dated or cringe. Like, there's a lot they could have done that you'd look back and go like, oh, yeah. But
time
it's
for
all
our,
cool.
time to do what we do every video. Mention Freak Style at least once.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew.
Because that game is the most dated and the most cringe.
Mad misogynist Mike
Yeah, it will
Jones.
never leave our brains. It will never leave our memories at all.
Barat, my brothers.
How do you do, fellow motocross?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Alright,
Now
now
it's time
this
to
right
get.
here.
Well, I can't say tricky yet because we're not there, but it's time to get
Yeah.
extreme.
Time to get very sex, as we all called this game as a kid.
Yeah.
I still get that whenever I'm talking about this game with people who don't play this game or haven't played this game.
Yeah, if I'm
my
like
favorite snowboarding game.
if
Sex.
I'm like doom posting and I stop using capital letters and I just write out SSX, yeah. And for anyone wondering, maybe all three of you know, it's Super Snowboard Cross. That's what it stands for.
Yeah.
I thought it was Snowboard Supercross.
Whatever.
Yeah,
That's gotta hurt.
just like motocross in TX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then BMX, bicycle motocross. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, I always find it funny how, because this track is so long, both in this game and I think Tricky, the score requirements kind of jump up very high, and then you don't see them get that high for like another few tracks or so, because it's like the longest track in the game by far.
No.
Yeah. This one can also be kind of tough. You do get saved by some great opportunities at the end.
Well, that was unethical right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that 5x multiplier a million miles in the air?
Yeah, because you were supposed to stay on the big cliffside shortcut. But so each rider does have like one board for the other different kind of board types. So I put Moby's freestyle board on him, which gives him like one better point in Tricky compared to the BX board that was next to it.
But it makes him unhappy because it's not his true way.
Right, but like the animations do change. The grabs look like the freestylers and yeah.
Yeah. I actually learned this recently from Mr. Kellicat, who is a speedrunner of,
Hell
of
yeah,
all the SSX.
Kellicat's awesome.
Yeah, he's a great guy, assumedly. But he's great at this game, and I don't know the guy, but he answered my question, I've never gotten the
Very
snowflake
nice.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you probably asked the question.
Yeah.
I probably ignored you. Again, I'm an admin of the SSX Discord, even though
No,
I
I
don't
asked
do
this
anything.
on one of his videos.
Oh.
So why they choose certain boards for characters that don't like they aren't the, because each character is like a natural in one set of board. Moby is a natural on the border cross boards. Mac is a natural on the freestyle boards.
Right.
Another character may be a natural on the alpine boards, which are the fastest. And he does a lot of his speed runs with Mac on his alpine board, even though he's a freestyle boarder. And like your board stats always go up. So his Mac's highest freestyle board has a 49 in speed, and his alpine board has a 41 in speed. Yet when he's speedrunning, he still chooses the alpine board, and he explained that a 40 they are just faster. The alpine boards are just faster naturally, and the freestyle boards just spin faster naturally. Like a 40
We
trick.
get it.
Yeah, 40
get it,
trick
yeah.
freestyle board.
Yeah, that was a really cool thing. Like, this first game didn't really get a lot of attention in like the high scores or racing, compared to Trickier 3. But then, in the last few years, like Kellicat, XCon, some of the other guys have gone back to this. And not only do they put out a lot of great TASs of, 1, Tricky, and 3, but they've really dug in and kind of figured out the mechanics and stuff like that. Like, all of the fastest times used to be done with, like the Alpine riders. But then it was like, wait, the freestyle riders with their Alpine board can, do tricks faster, get the boost back, boost equals speed, kind of calculate that through more.
Yeah.
Like, especially in Tricky, all the racing records used to be like Brody, but now you'll see like Kaori on her Alpine board is actually the faster.
Yeah. And this game, especially in regards to tassing, because this game is PS2 exclusive, and of course that means it's a lot harder to emulate than a Nintendo GameCube game.
Yeah.
But recently people have started tassing this game using the limited save state feature on PCSX 2. I think Kellicat has a few tasks of this game up on his channel.
Yeah, there are some.
Quick question. Who is your favorite character in the first game and stuff? I mean, we'll see all the characters, but which one is, jives with you most?
Zoe. I just feel like I play better with
Is
her.
that a record?
What?
That's one of the things she says when you do big ass
Oh.
trick. Hey, is that a record?
I mean, I don't play the first game for, hours on end trying to get the highest scores. I do that in Tricky and 3, but not really in the first game.
Zoe is cool in this game. She has a cool look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, she's your golf GM.
And again, they're all cool. You know, they just got
They're
more
all
personality and
stylish.
tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the ones that made it.
I personally like this guy because I find his personality
Moby.
to be like really enjoyable. Out of all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moby's
Because you're
like,
both British.
kind of like the funk jockey scene, sort of like the Prodigy and Underworld and other acts kind of
Yeah.
like that at the time.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I never
Puts a
listened
big
to
Union Jack on his back.
to Underworld back in the day, but I did pick up some albums because I thought their album art was good. And yeah, like Dub No Bass with My Head Man is a pretty good album.
Yeah.
Then again, the only Prodigy album I had was Fat of the Land, so not like I really know the scene.
Yeah.
And there it is.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Did you like those 5 X's outside the final door that you
Yeah.
have to like ride up the side and jump and do a flip to do?
Yeah, they weren't
Gnarly.
nearly as sneaky with those and tricky.
Yeah, I mean, and tricky, they'll put in new ramps and show off to give you those opportunities. Like, yeah, sometimes in the first game you have to make your own opportunity if you didn't, get good jumps before. But all right, yeah, that was Elysium Alps. We're continuing on next time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll see
More
you then.
base wobbles, more tricks.
Yeah.